welcome to our Patreon exclusive bonus episode of the Black Dice Society, The Nightmare Lands. Which they didn't know that was the name of it until right now. But it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. But before we jump into this, at the beginning of every episode, I normally thank our sponsors, but this time, thank you. Because if you are watching this, you have supported us. You literally make it possible to do what we do. Thank you so very much. The love and support of this community and how quickly it has grown has been overwhelming. And I know I myself am deeply appreciative. So on behalf of all of us, thank you. I don't even think we need to do the introduction because if we've made it this far, they pretty much know who we all are. So let's just get into it. Desmond, as you are walking through the woods, having just had your conversation with Nika, taking in the night air in the brilliant, shimmering stars overhead, you start to feel the beast welling up again. You start to feel the pull of the moon in wildness and madness. And you hear in your voice, you hear in your head, rather. Ooh, that seems dreadful. Would you like some assistance with that? I feel like turning into a rampaging monstrosity can't be good for you.
Who are you? And why does it matter?
It doesn't, I suppose. I'm somewhere where your teeth and claws cannot reach me. I realize I've started speaking without introducing myself. I do that on occasion. I say things out of order. I don't quite have a grasp on linear existence. I mean, you know all this. We're old friends. Oh, we're not old friends. We're meeting. Hi, hello. My name is Mangata. By my calculations, you have roughly 14 seconds before the beast takes hold again, unless you'd like me to intervene, which I'd be happy to do.
Why would you like to?
I'm curious.
As to what?
If I can or not.
I'm curious too. Let's see.
Okay. In Desmond, overhead, you can make out just over the tips of these towering trees that stretch dozens of feet into the sky, the first light of the moon about to break over it, and then it doesn't. It goes from a well-lit night, glowing with the light of the full moon, to a new moon. The stars here are innumerable. The starlight alone still illuminates the forest enough that you can easily see your hand in front of your face, but the moon does not rise, and when it doesn't, you feel the beast, which never quite leaves, go back to a more manageable place in your soul.
Interesting.
I wasn't sure if I had that in me.
So you had the confidence to tell me that you could, but you weren't sure yet.
I had to believe in myself, didn't I?
You sound like a fairy tale. That's something that you tell kids when they're laying down to sleep. And if you just believe you'll grow taller and you drink the milk, you'll be fine and you'll grow big and strong. Like that's what you sounded like just now. So I'm very curious as to why you came to me.
Look around you. This is a place of fairy tales, a place of dreams. It's why I'm here. Well, there. I'm here. You're there. The here I'm there is not your there. It's my here, which is different from your there.
Right, because you don't have a regular grasp on the linear state of time.
That's why we've been friends for so long. Wait.
We haven't. We just met. You said that a second ago.
Right. Yes. So here's the thing.
You said Mangatu, yes?
Mangata. Yes.
Mangata.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Here's the thing you were saying.
I think you and Brother Uriah are really, really nice people. And I need heroes. I need help.
What do you need help with?
Somebody's kidnapped my babies.
Like babies?
Remember
Like,
the linear time thing? Like,
yeah, like, but you say babies, so like that,
my
your
actual
babies could
offspring,
be like
yes.
80-year-old men for me, and it's like, I don't know, like,
yes, true, but they're babies to me, and they're gone, and I would like them back.
So since you don't have a linear grasp on time, would you not be able to sense both the absence of your babies and the presence of your babies when they return?
Oh,
since
they're
time
gone.
doesn't work that way for you, right?
Yes, no, your there and my here is very different from their there. And I know where there is, but I cannot go there. Very few people can go there.
And where is there?
Desmond, the moment you say that, a hush falls over the woods. You know when a predator is present and everything quiets down. The crickets stop chirping, the birds stop singing. Usually they do this when you're around. But in this place, everything has sort of existed in happy equilibrium until now. An awful, dreadful silence comes over you.
Mangata, what else is in this forest with me right now?
Strange question, Desmond. What are you afraid of?
Nothing that I know of. But somehow I get the feeling that the silence that I feel here, your voice, combined, make me think you should have just let me change.
I promise you, I'm not doing this. And you hear echoing through the woods, Desmond! Desmond! My brother! Desmond! It is Armand's voice.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
Roughly ahead of you. It's difficult to tell. It's kind of the trees, they're refracting noise in all different directions.
The second you said hard to tell, nope, Desmond's on the move.
You start running and give me a perception check.
I'm proficient. So let's it's a 5? Because that's nat 1.
A lot's happening out here. You start to smell blood, but it's overwhelming, almost blinding when you smell it. Like it's everywhere and nowhere all at once. And you finally crash into a clearing, and in the middle of it, you see Armand. He's wearing his wedding garb that you saw him in, covered in Nika's blood, like you saw him, holding the sword that he was holding when he was next to you in Koshmar the last moment you laid eyes on him. And his back is to you as he's looking around frantically. Desmond!
Yes, I'm right here.
He turns and he looks at you. In Desmond, there's hate in his eyes. You. It was you! It took me time to figure out. But you are the one who took her from me. And I will have my revenge. And he runs at you with his sword. I will avenge Nika's life! What would you like to do?
Desmond is just on defense. He pulls out a sword and just parries everything that Armand brings at him.
Do you pull out the Nika sword?
Yes.
When you draw it, his blade crashes into yours, and you hear it, and the ice erupts down the blade. And as he smashes into it, the ice begins to work its way down your arm, and you see the blade begin to crack as he smashes into it again and again. This is for Father!
Stop
for
right now!
You do not command me! I am your king!
You are my brother, my younger brother. And if you care about Nika, you won't destroy this sword, because her essence is inside of it.
Tatiana, give me a perception check with advantage.
Perception with advantage. We need advantage here. Okay, 19. Not bad.
Tatiana, you were sleeping next to a tree, surrounded by dishes and pumpkin confections of all kinds, with a happy little fairy dragon cuddled up on your chest, purring gently, sending joy and warmth radiating through your body. But off in the distance, you hear a song you know all too well. Battle. You hear the clanging of blades and yelling. I'm your king. Kang, kang, kang.
I jump out of sleep, immediately wide awake, my eyes raging. Not quite yet. I realize if I am going to jump into the fray of a battle, I don't want to be Tatiana. I want to be a wild shape. And I will wild shape into something sweet.
A dire wolf again or something else?
Something else. Let me see. Something smaller and cat-like and I didn't.
Call it a
I
panther?
didn't know. Let's call it a panther.
Okay. This sleek creature of the night explodes out into the trees. Before you go, do you say anything to any of your other associates, or do you just run?
I don't yet know who's battling. Mm-hmm. I think I would call to Desmond anytime I would run into a fight. But
the rest of you, Nahara and Valentine, give me straight perception. Normal. Uriah and Finn give me perception with disadvantage because the two of you are sleeping. Valentine and Nahara are never quite sleeping. They're just more or less out of touch.
So I normally get advantage on perception. Do I not get it now?
We'll do it. We'll do a push then. Just not disadvantage, but a straight roll. And brother Uriah,
22.
22. And what was that, Nahara?
21.
Nahara, you see Granny's face saying, it won't be long now. And you hear the beating of wings, and then you're awake, and Desmond is yelling. You see a cat that is probably Tatiana taking off into the woods as you see Valentine also snapping awake.
Is there an open window?
I will let you all tell me where you slept. Before, you all didn't sleep in the house. So if you were welcome to. So if you wanted to sleep in the house, you were in the house. If you wanted to sleep outside, you were outside. It's completely up to you.
I would have stayed wherever Tatiana was.
Okay, then I would say, Valentine, you probably awake just to, she calls out and is a panther and is gone.
Okay.
What?
So, but did we establish where you're outside?
Mm-hmm. You can be
I
outside.
sleep under the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you hear that? And Tatiana's gone?
I'm just going to pick up running after the panther.
I'm going to fly.
You hear a
Over to the
loud
sound.
panther growl in my wake.
Perfect. Well, Finn, what was it for you?
It was a whole 9.
For the moment, you are still in the next world. And brother Uriah, what did you get?
I rolled low, but my observant feat brings it up to a minimum 22.
Pretty good feat.
I will say, as you hear Tatiana's roar, you do not hear the battle, Brother Uriah, and you're able to.
Okay, so I've just come awake, essentially.
Yep. And I will say, you see Finn is still sleeping nearby. There is no sign of Desmond, and Valentine is also running, and Nahara is taking wing towards something.
Finn will wake up with Brother Uriah shaking her shoulder, going, Finn, what's happening? What's happening?
Jump up. What? Where?
A panther? I think it might have been Tatiana. I'm not sure.
Was it blue?
I didn't. I heard it, and then I just heard it running away, and I'm not really sure what's going on.
Neither am I, but we shouldn't lose sight of them. I'm going to pop dread form and then just offer to carry Uriah. And
yes,
go.
Of course.
Tatiana, we lost your camera for a second there. Perfect.
So sorry.
Desmond. Here in this clearing, your brother's is wild-eyed and bloodshot in smashing his blade into you with a strength that you don't recall him possessing. Give me persuasion with disadvantage.
Did I roll that right?
Roll twice and take the lower.
Okay. 17.
If you're using D&D Beyond, you could right-click on it, choose advantage.
Yeah, I did, and I was just like that. I was not expecting to die. 17.
You see, he hesitates for a second, but doesn't put the sword down. He's like, "What? Do you intend to plead for mercy? Are you going to apologize for another?"
No, and I sheathed the sword, and right after he says, "Do you want to apologize?" I said no, and then sheathe it. I'm not here to joke. I'm not here to play games. In fact, you look like the you I remember the night we separated, the night we disappeared into the mist. I do not want to fight you. If anything, I'm still trying to figure out what happened that night because I don't remember anything.
You think just because you put your sword away, I won't cut you down where you stand?
Do it. You're my younger brother, and I gave up the king. I gave up the position of king so that you could become the king. Regardless of how you feel about whether or not you're better than me because you're the king. You're only king because I decided against it. But beyond that, I will not raise a sword to you. Not now, not ever. I've been looking for you for so long. And the moment I see you, you're raising a sword to me. And not to mention the fact that we both know I'm not the only one gifted in our family.
I've been looking for you, brother, to give you this. Tatiana, as you come out of the forest, you see Armand too. You knew him. You see Desmond standing there unarmed, and he raises his sword like he clearly is about to kill him.
I tackle his midsection.
Give me an athletics check.
18.
As you go to pounce, Tatiana, your shadow comes up out of the ground and grabs your front paws and pulls you back down to the ground. In the face of it, gets right in yours and looks at you. And for the first time ever, you can see a smile on its face as it holds you there. And it reaches and turns your head to make you look and watch Desmond die.
Does it look like Tatiana or a panther?
It looks like Tatiana. Brother Uriah.
But Desmond has no comfort of standing there to die, just to throw that out there. He's going to move.
Desmond.
Or attempt to.
You go to move, and it's like you're in slow motion, like you're stuck in mud. You see him coming. You see Tatiana there, and you try, but it's like your arms and legs won't listen. He's so much faster than you as he is coming forward. And all of you, even though you left at different times, all arrive in the clearing just in time to see Armand's sword stab through Desmond's chest and out his back. You will not join our ancestors!
Spare the dying, immediately.
Desmond falls to the ground, gaping wound in his chest. And Brother Uriah, you reach out and you know you have stilled his life force. And Armand yanks the sword back out and turns and looks at you all and says, a wedding party. Valentine, good to see you again. Always there whenever something terrible is about to happen. I should have known that catastrophe would follow you, and presumably this blue buffoon is Tatiana, the most useless woman at arms ever, tangled up by her own shadow. And who is this? This scrawny man whining for my useless brother, and he kicks Desmond's body.
Sir, I shall have to ask you not to do that. That man is a friend of ours. I'm not quite sure who you are.
You're right. You should have known. And I'd like to cast Avard's Black Tentacles, please.
Absolutely. What's the save on that?
That is a dexterity save of 14.
Perfect. Put a slight pin in that. He looks at you, Uriah, and when you're like, he's a friend of ours, he goes, ha! He would have just disappointed you eventually. Valentine, as the magic leaps into your hands, you hear Tregrum. Valentine, hi. I realize this might seem an inappropriate moment, but there's a little problem.
Yes, this is a deeply inappropriate moment. Is it more important than Desmond dying?
Well, somewhat. Unfortunately, it's been decided that perhaps you were not quite the steward of your power that we thought you'd be, and that I should be making the decisions now. And I think maybe all of you should die. And your black tentacles erupt out of the ground and grab all of you. What's your save DC, Valentine?
14.
All of you make dexterity saves. 14. One of the tentacles wraps Desmond's limp body and picks it up into the air.
One of them gets me as well. I got a 3.
3?
I've got a 15. I made it by 1.
Yep.
I got a 17.
9.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. I just made it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 14. Does that count?
It is not. Actually, you roll with disadvantage because you were grappled by your shadow already, Tatiana.
But otherwise meets it beats it? So if she doesn't do worse this time,
That's yeah. If she doesn't do worse this time, she'll evade it.
don't do worse.
That's a 12.
Roll your damage for your tentacles, Valentine.
Oh no.
8.
8
I don't
damage.
wanna.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and roll it.
A bit, isn't it?
$12 points of damage.
Everyone takes 12 points of damage from the tentacles.
I didn't. I just made it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone who made this, because it's not half damage. It's all or nothing, right?
Unclarified. When a creature enters the affected area, the creature must succeed on a dex save. Also, though, it is in a controlled area. So if we're actually going off of spell and I cast it around him, it would only affect people that were very close to him.
They all came out of the ground under all of you. And in fact, it didn't grab him. Armand is still just standing there, laughing at you now.
Are we?
It doesn't say it gets halved, so yeah, no one takes
Right,
anything
listen,
then. Or the people
you
who saved didn't take anything.
all see Valentine's face. The black fluid starts flowing and her eyes turn solid white, like what you all saw in Bloodspur. Even though the tentacle has picked her up too, her body is just rigid and staring at nothing as it does. Yes, Brother Uriah.
I assume those of us who failed our save are restrained by the tentacles or grappled.
I believe is it grappled or restrained? Restrained. Yep. So you cannot move, and you have limited actions.
I will shout out to those who aren't restrained. Someone's got to get to Desmond right away. I've stabilized him, but it won't last forever.
Oh, wouldn't that be terrible if he were to die like the cowardly disappointment he is? And you all see Armand gets over his body, laying on the ground, and he's like, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. I won't even visit a quick death on you. I will let you watch them die. I will let you lose everything as I did. And then maybe I will send you into the abyss.
Can I Eldritch Blast him, though?
You absolutely can.
All right. I'm going to hurl 2 of them at him.
Okay.
While Nahara's doing that, I sent you a message, Dave, hopefully to the right one.
Stand by here.
I have a question. I succeeded on the save. Am I, you said the tentacle still has me.
You did not get grabbed by the tentacles. I made a mistake. But the other thing I said happens to you, but you are not restrained. Your body is standing there. All right. I apologize to everyone. I tried a slightly different setup this time, so now I'm all like, I don't know where anything is. Oh, hold on a second. Just make sure I didn't break anything. I did. Great. Nahara, when you go to access your power, it doesn't respond. Because your patron is disappointed in you, and you are no longer worthy of his assistance. If King Azalin Rex were to reject Nahara in her pleas, what would he say to her?
Oh no. Are not free, my dear. And you have been a grave disappointment.
Disappointment? How? It's not my fault that you can't access this plane.
It is not your place to question the will of your patron. See how you fare without my favor.
And Nahara, you feel it's gone. All of it. That ambient connection that you have. It's even difficult to keep yourself aloft with your wings. It's gone.
Can I grab onto those cards? Do I still feel something with them?
You don't feel anything. They feel worn and frail to your touch now. They're not humming. They're not vibrating. Nothing.
I don't understand what's going on. What is going on?
Finn.
Yes. I want to try to take out
Armand?
Armand, thank you. I was going to say Desmond's brother.
It's all right. Finn wasn't even at the wedding. It's okay that you don't know.
Right. I'm just like, I just showed up. Like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. So if I can unarmed strike or just try to drag him away since I'm still in my dread form.
Is you come down. He seems like he's just out of arm's reach, but as you're continuing to fly, it seems like it takes so long before you getting there, watching your friends suffering, dying all around you. And Finn, you hear Isolde. Finn.
Yes.
I thought if you went into the Feywild, it would be a good thing. I thought you would be able to help me.
I'm trying, Isolde, but we didn't expect this.
Oh no. My time has run out. There's no longer any hope for me.
I don't know what demon or other creatures trying to persuade me this is real, but I don't believe it. Sold would not tell me this.
She calls you a pet name in Sylvan that she only calls you, that no one could know. What is it that she calls you? What's the translation for what a soul refers to Finn as?
Comes out, if we were to ever say it in common, moon-kissed.
My moon-kissed. I'm so tired. This burden I bear is so heavy. I've got to go now. Do not come back. I wished we could have been. And you feel her light go out of your life, Finn. You feel that connection severed.
That just sends Fen into an absolute rage. Not a barbarian rage, obviously. But whatever's going on here, she doesn't believe it.
All of you give me willpower saves at disadvantage, including you, Desmond.
Like con save?
Willpower.
Wisdom?
Wisdom, sorry.
Wisdom?
Too many
Okay.
different games floating in my head.
Of course.
Mhm.
And you said with
I was like, I think
disadvantage.
that's Pathfinder
With-
stuff.
with
Disadvantage?
No, one of them was a nat 20.
Mm.
The
One of mine was
crossroad.
good too. One of them.
One of mine was
Yeah.
great.
The cruelest roll.
For
Both of mine were me.
Oh wait, that was a dex save, sorry.
No,
no.
no.
Nope, never
Wisdom.
mind.
Wisdom.
I thought I'd roll dex, but no, I did roll wisdom. I got an 8 for my first one, and then a 22, which doesn't count. So yeah.
And a nat 20 and then a 17.
Tatiana.
A 5.
Nahara.
16 with disadvantage.
16 in 17. Valentine and Nahara. This scene slows down for you for a moment. Valentine, you're standing next to yourself. You're watching your body motion with hands, commanding these tentacles to attack your friends with a blank expression. And Nahara, you are aware of this displaced Valentine. Somehow, it doesn't make any sense. You see Valentine and you see this other Valentine, and you hear the beating of wings overhead. The same wings you heard before, Nahara. Huge. And both of you hear a voice. Like someone yelling from a far distance. I might be able to help you. Please allow me to assist you.
Now would be the time.
I know this is going to be difficult, but you must give in to it. Stop fighting.
I
No,
beg
I
your
don't like that.
unbelievable pardon.
Don't like that one bit.
Do you recognize the voice at all?
You can roll insight checks if you like.
Yeah.
Would like to.
Yup.
Mhm.
That is a
21 for me.
18.
Neither of you sense any deception. What they're saying is ridiculous. You're all under attack. Desmond is bleeding to death. Like, this is going awfully. You see tears streaming down Finn's face as a wild ferocity takes hold in her. You see Brother Uriah being choked and grappled. Nahara, you feel your powers are gone. Valentine, your body is not yours. But whatever this is telling you, don't fight it.
And then do what exactly?
You will pass through.
Well,
Doesn't
I've
seem
died
like
on.
we have a choice.
I've died on more than one occasion, so let's have at it.
Stop struggling.
Tatiana releases her wild shape and turns back into an air genasi.
Finn.
Yes.
Well, Nahara and Valentine, do either of you say anything?
I literally said, "Well, oh, sorry. Go ahead."
Oh, I was just gonna say I'll send a telepathic message to Tatiana to let her know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Since I know Nahara is speaking out loud, I'm just providing a little more detail specifically to Tatiana.
Okay. And Nahara, are you going to say
I know
anything?
she'll be the last one Friday.
I'll just scream, "Apparently don't struggle."
What?
I don't know.
But I mean, I am struggling, but it's not doing anything. So I suppose I might as well just stop trying.
I guess.
I'll go limp.
Finn, you are the only one currently free, and you are charging towards Armand as he is still standing over Desmond with his sword. And you hear Nahara say, "Stop fighting." What would you like to do?
Can I stop my forward momentum is the question. Because this is like full bore screaming in rage, running.
Again, it's so strange. It's like you should be there. You should have been there already. You're moving, but you can't quite reach him.
Then I'll skid to a stop and drop to my knees and just try for however long this takes. And if it doesn't work, then it's back to the warpath.
Armand looks at all of you, and Tregrum, controlling Valentine, just says, I knew at some point your courage would fail, and just clenches his fist as the tentacles begin squeezing tighter and tighter. And Armand gets down over you, Desmond, and pushes your eyelids open and says, your friends are as disgraceful as you are, and jams his sword into your heart. And everything goes black. Everything goes black for all of you. A moment later, there's screaming, wailing, agony coming from all around you. Terror grips your heart. Some of you, fear is a very unfamiliar experience, and yet you feel it primally. You feel pursued. You feel hopeless. You feel isolated. You feel every possible terrible thing that you can hear or feel. And then there is the sound of a pair of wings. I'm coming, my friends. Hold fast. And you hear the sound of the screams start to dissipate slightly. The fear takes its claws out of your heart for a moment. And each of you, even the ones who don't normally do so, find yourself involuntarily and you're all there. You're all whole. Desmond, you're uninjured, but completely aware of what just happened.
That sucked.
Did everyone experience that?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Desmond! And I reach for his stomach and I feel around and make sure there's no holes.
unharmed. Although
No.
you feel almost the memory of it. You felt it. You felt the steel bite into you, Desmond. It's not there.
It was a warrior's death. I'm so glad it was not, but it was, you know?
Do you mind me asking, who was that gentleman who ran you through?
That was some sort of apparition of my brother, Armand.
I
Yes.
believe it was him.
Perhaps
It wasn't
not,
Armand.
perhaps not so much an apparition as a phantasm. Were we all dreaming? Was that all a dream?
I hope for.
I don't dream.
When we look around, where are we?
Is you look around, you all see, quite frankly, something impossible. It's very similar to what you experienced in Blootspur. Non-Euclidean shapes, floating islands, entire worlds cracking and breaking. In the sky overhead, you see planets collapsing and disintegrating. And the ground in every direction is barren and windswept and craggy, like a place that has experienced centuries of drought. And off in the far, far distance, at the edge of your perception, you see the outlines of a city. But there are no plants, there are no animals, there is no living thing. Valentine.
Do I feel the presence of Tregrum?
You do.
Whatever happened, I do not think it is over yet. Look where we are.
I will say, just as an important point of clarification, Valentine, you were intimately familiar with the vibration of Blootspur. This is not it. The mountain that reaches to the sky is not here. It is a very different kind of apocalyptic hellscape. Sorry, Brother Uriah, please continue.
Nevertheless, noticing the similarities to Blootspur, Brother Uriah immediately starts feeling the front of his face to make sure there's no tentacles. Like, no, I think we're us. Where are we?
I don't know.
Did anyone else hear that voice and that sound? Are you there?
Why are you yelling?
Yeah. Yes.
Valentine, it was terrible. Oh.
Did anyone else hear that? Hello?
Do we all hear this?
You do.
Hello?
But Tatiana, you were saying something.
Oh, Valentine, it was terrible. I was a powerful beast, but I was tied down and I could not move. It was the worst imaginable consequence.
I know. And I'll just kind of like reach out for Tatiana's hands. We'll get to the bottom of this, okay? And everything that he said was false about you.
Okay.
I just want to get back to the carnival because if his soul is dead, what they fear from her is nothing compared to what I'll do with Nepenthe in my hand.
Oh, I'm not sure if you have that much to worry about. It seemed as though we were all faced with our greatest fears or something that we dreaded.
Well, until I see her for myself, I don't know what to believe.
And I may be able to enlighten. I kind of had a sword stab through my heart before we appeared here.
I saw it.
And just like lifts his shirt. Booms.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I know the abs are nice, but like no wounds.
They're very nice abs, yes.
They're very nice. May I? It's like washboards.
I tried.
That a 12 pack? That's
absurd.
As Desmond looks objectively shredded, but when you go and you touch his abs, they're spongy and flabby. They're terrible.
Ooh,
He doesn't lift at all.
well, this illusion. I've
What?
never felt abs so weak that look so strong.
Tatiana, you run your hand down yours. Same thing.
Oh,
Nothing.
too much pumpkin pie. It is a shame. I will be very strong for winter, but still.
I don't understand. Is everything all right?
I don't know. I'm normally made of rock. Feel this.
While they're doing that, I'd just like to dip off from the group a little bit.
Mhm.
Oh, look at this.
Very.
Don't laugh.
Oh,
Very-
no, it's just
Very doughy.
spongy.
Yep. Mhm.
Huh,
Yes.
it's strange.
Yes, Val. The rest of you are seemingly unchanged, with 2 significant exceptions. 3, actually. 1, the recent changes to Brother Uriah's eyes seem to have reverted. They look like they used to, like they normally do. Nahara, your wings are still there, but they feel vestigial and weak. You don't think you could extend them, much less take flight. And Finn, your fangs are very dull and blunted, not much sharper than a normal person's teeth.
What's everyone looking at?
Well, your eyes for one.
What? Oh, yes, they've returned to their usual hue and appearance. It's very odd.
Is there a rock on this terrain?
There is. However, I want to resolve what Valentine was going to do first, because as you begin to survey this, it is very strange. You simultaneously are on an island floating in nothingness somehow, and yet there is still land in all directions. Like it doesn't make sense. It is like there is no atmosphere. You see the raw, unfiltered sky, and yet you can breathe. Yes, Valentine, what was it that you were trying to do?
I would like to just kind of turn away from the group, and I'd like to slip one of my daggers out of my bag that I never use, and just put it up to the artery in my throat and reach out to Tregrum.
That was awful.
Explain yourself now.
What? That wasn't me.
Faster.
I didn't do anything. I would never harm you. You know I exist to serve. I literally exist to serve.
Then explain what did happen. I've died for less.
Brother Uriah said it was a dream or a nightmare. It's reasonable. I deal in a very
No, it's not reasonable. I haven't slept in years, Tregrum.
I slept never, Valentine. You know my brand of mental manipulation is much different. I swear on the name of the God Brain, it was not me.
Well, then who do you let infiltrate my mind?
You know, you do keep parts of yourself away from me. I don't. And Valentine, while Tregrum is stammering, you hear in your head, perhaps I might be of some assistance. It was not your companion.
Sure, I guess anyone can just come in.
In this place, there are few walls, and I can.
Just a neon sign and an unlocked door? Sure, who are you?
I'm prepared to reveal myself, but my appearance might be off-putting. I'm an old friend of Desmond's. Ask him. You and we have a cordial working relationship. I don't know that you ever taken to me nearly as much as I've taken to you. I'm quite fond of you, Valentine. I'm doing it again. Linear time. You don't know who I am. Right. Ask Desmond.
I'll tuck the dagger back into my pocket and I'll walk over to Desmond. And telepathically. Has an old friend come to visit that's not an old friend yet, apparently?
Yeah, actually. Her name is Mangata? I wanted to say Mangata, but I feel like I failed it there. But apparently, they've been friends with us for a long time. Their babies are missing. They don't experience time the same way that we do, and they won't help getting the babies back.
I'll return to the conversation in my head. I'm caught up and nothing has been said to help you. What do you want, and why did that just happen?
I will come and explain it all in person, but sheath your steel, please. I look fearsome, but I'm a friend.
Trust me, the dagger here is the least harmful thing I can do to you.
And you hear overhead.
We all hear this?
You do. And you see the silhouette of something huge and winged fly over you and begin circling. And after a few moments, is descending, very much coming towards you.
Everyone.
That's what I was
don't attack
talking
it
about.
Hold your fire.
All right.
That's who
For
spoke
now.
to us earlier.
And you hear boom. A beautiful dragon lands. It's got shimmering blue scales. It looks like it's got flowers growing all over it. The horn of its nose and the crest of its head both come up and form into a crescent moon shape.
It's a dragon.
Fearsome beast.
The real. I've only heard whispers of Azalin's shadow dragon, but this is an actual living thing. It's real. They're real.
Of course they're real.
But
They're just rare.
We don't see them much in my neck of the woods.
My name is Mangata. Not many people see me in any neck of any woods, really. I'm actually not here. In a manner of speaking, neither are you. As I attempted to explain to Desmond earlier, you're there, and I'm here. But you're actually not there. You're in another here that isn't my here. This is all quite confusing.
I'm very quickly running out of patience. Is Desmond actively dying somewhere?
I think that made sense.
Thank you, Tatiana. You know, I always enjoy our chats, and it's like huge head comes down and gets right in front of you. You know, a lot of people underestimate you. You've become quite a powerful and wise druid. Very Oh, you haven't yet. You're still so squishy, and pokes you with one of its huge claws. Like, oh.
I'm not normally this squishy.
You know why this is, right? You all have deduced what's happening to you, correct?
No, absolutely not.
I have a working theory. Are we being confronted with our own fears and insecurities?
Oh, Brother Uriah, always so erudite. Yes, it's a nightmare. The worst nightmare. The place nightmares originate from, actually. These are the nightmare lands.
What are you saying?
So you're saying my abs are still rock hard somewhere else?
Absolutely. And you were
Unintended?
afraid that they wouldn't be.
You were eavesdropping on me earlier. That was you, wasn't it?
I was aware that certain events were about to transpire, and I arrived earlier than I intended to. I assure you, I did not listen into your conversation with Granny, even though she is a spooky old shriveled hag. Sorry.
It is what it is.
Hold on. If you are a kind, benevolent dragon, why do you hang out in Nightmare Lands?
I don't. And thank you for calling me kind and benevolent. I thought
It was an if. I am still deciding.
Right. Well, I know you're kind and benevolent as long as I don't get between you and whatever it is you want to eat or fight or whatever at the moment.
You do know me.
So while this is going on, Fennis is standing there like, so do you know all of us?
After a moment, he turns and looks at you and like lowers his head again, Finn. And you realize this dragon could probably easily fit you in its mouth if it wanted to. And
Great. I'm a snack.
And it just literally, and it just whispers very quietly. It really was just a dream. Isolde is alive and well. Well.
So do our powers work now? And I just kind of put like, instead of doing a full-on firebolt, just like a flame.
Crackles to life.
Oh, good.
It might be intermittent. If you become too afraid that they will fail, they will. That's what this place is. It's your worst nightmare. It's everyone's worst nightmare. Literally.
Gee, I'm sorry. I know I'm staring. It's just that you're magnificent. I've only read stories about your ilk, and to see you here, to be conversing with you,
Wait
it's all...
till you get to enjoy our flights together, Brother Uriah. My favorite way to spend an afternoon, just gliding over the realms, waxing philosophical about this and that, you boring me to tears about Ezra, Lady of the Mist, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Am I correct in surmising that you experience time in a non-linear fashion?
Didn't you already ask me that?
No, I'm just asking it now.
Well, the problem
that is to say,
I experience time in a non-linear fashion.
Right. Oh, well, everything's clear then. I'm afraid I haven't experienced any of our flights together yet.
I am a moonstone dragon. I am a native of the Feywild. One of the few types of dragons that is. So you all being from the prime material and other places, I can imagine why you've never heard or laid eyes on one of these. But I assure you, we are quite real. Normally, my kind only manifest in dreams, which is how I'm doing this right now. I told you, my there isn't there. My there is here.
Oh, so we're still in a dream. Now.
Oh yes. No, actually.
No?
You're in a nightmare.
No. Oh, worse.
If you don't sleep, how is that possible?
Huh?
If you don't sleep, and you don't dream, then how is it possible that we're in a nightmare?
Yeah, two of our companions don't actually require rest.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I zoned out for a second because Tatiana was talking to me.
What did I say? Was it wise and brilliant?
It always is wise and brilliant. That's what you just said. Hang on. Wait, Nahara's talking to me. Nahara, here's the problem. Have you ever been walking in the woods and you look up and you're at your destination and you have no recollection of the trip? You just sort of zone out for a time and you just look up and you're like, oh, time's passed. You just sort of go elsewhere. That's how. But also, I think you might be slightly underestimating the scope of what's taking place here. This isn't just a nightmare. This is the nightmare. Whether or not you're asleep has really minimal impact on it. And you're asleep enough, that's why I'm here. Because you are dreaming somewhere. But it's a nightmare. I think I covered that.
Right. I just want to clear something up. Is this one of those, if you die in the nightmare, you die in life situations? Or will we just... Yes, I thought it might be.
No, but Desmond, he died and he is fine.
Yes, there's that.
Well, he died there. Not here.
Where is here?
The Nightmare Lands.
Right.
Where are the Nightmare Lands?
Where aren't the Nightmare Lands? Anywhere
Useless.
It really seemed like we were also in Nightmare Lands when Desmond's brother murdered him.
It seems like we've been in Nightmare Lands pretty much the entire time we've known each other.
Well, yeah, metaphorically, yeah, yes.
Yeah, you get quite a ways before there's any change in that thing. No, look, and he kind of sweeps with his wing in motions, and you all do see, intermittently, you just see people. Some of them appear to be sleeping, having fitful rest. Some of them are standing, looking at nothing in particular. Some of them their shoulders are heaving with sobs. Some of them are screaming and running for their life. These sentients are from everywhere. Anyone who has an unpleasant experience while they're sleeping comes here and helps build this place.
Oh. So
So there are some embarrassing things here I don't want my friends to see.
I would try and put them out of your mind, or they will.
Okay.
am I to understand that our physical forms are elsewhere, sleeping or otherwise inert?
Yep. Should be. Dead to the world. Well, poor turn of phrase.
What are we
Right.
doing here?
Well, two things. I think the Nightmare Court has got their eye on you, which is bad.
Yes, it sounds bad.
Well, there's the Ghost Dancer, there's Hypnos, there's the Witch Malunga, she's terrible. There's Morpheus, he's a trickster, but not a fun trickster. And then there's the Nightmare Man. I think you all met him. That was very much his type of thing.
Oh, he took on the seeming of Desmond's brother. I see.
Sorry about that, Desmond. I couldn't stop him. I'm just a visitor here.
How do we...
I will find a way to pay him back.
Well, what I was hoping, as you all are getting on your way back, which I will assist in as much as I can, although my influence is limited here, if you happen to see my kidnapped babies, if you could perhaps find it in your heart to liberate them from this awful place.
What monster kidnaps babies?
That is what you said when we talked about this last time. That is why you and I get along, Tatiana. Unfortunately, the eggs of Moonglow dragons, Moonstone dragons, I can't even speak the common tongue in the right order. Our eggs are suffused with the power of the Feywild itself, with dreaming, with wonder. They're very potent batteries in a place like this.
And
how exactly are we supposed to free your babies if we don't know how we got here or how we can get out?
Well, if you can't, you won't. I can only
Additionally, you came in saying that you could help us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've revealed the
What
nature
is
of your predicament. I've told you who your captors are. I can tell you anything you want. I can tell you about the city over there. That's Nod.
I want you to help us get out of the nightmare.
That's the problem. I'm not really here in the nightmare.
Do you have any idea what we should do to get ourselves home? And of course, help your offspring along the way?
No.
No?
But
no.
Maybe if I were there, which I am not, maybe if you could track down someone from the Nightmare Court and maybe compel them to assist you, I can tell you what I know about them.
Sure, of course. Now, you mentioned that we all have very pleasant flights and conversations in the future. In the future, when we have already told you, did we ever mention how we pulled this off?
Oh, yeah, a lot of
Great
times.
question.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You totally have.
Perhaps some details regarding that?
Oh, I don't remember. I haven't found out yet.
Right. Well, I can only speak for myself, but if your children are in peril, of course I will do what I can to assist them.
You all have told me, you most of all, Finn, of how many times you all have been manipulated and betrayed. I don't expect anything. If you don't help or if you can't help, I understand. I'm not trying to promise you something. And he turns and looks right at you, Nahara. Promise you things in exchange for your assistance. I'm actually your friend.
but you don't experience time the same way, and this is our first time meeting you.
Yes.
But if future Tatiana has the wisdom to trust you, then this Tatiana should also trust you.
I trust this Tatiana too. Yeah. But understand,
Tatiana.
you all, if I had my power here, if I had my true, and he takes a deep breath and fire erupts out all over the ground and doesn't leave a mark. You don't feel any heat, nothing. If I had my true power here, I would save my babies myself. And I don't. I'm just a projection.
I'm going to try an insight roll just to see if everything that has been said so far is on the up and up. I suspect it is, but let's see.
Please do.
That is a 28 on insight.
Ooh.
You detect no deception.
Everyone, I think that Mangata is in earnest. I think that they have met us and do know us.
All right. Well, then hear me out, because I know this is going to sound strange, but if they know us from a future time, that means that whatever we do now, we survive.
We must succeed. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, of course, that discounts the possibilities of alternate timelines. And,
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it all gets very metaphysical, but yes.
I can tell you a secret of the universe, if you'd like to know.
Time is a circle.
Does anyone say no to that?
You'd be surprised. Valentine usually says no to stuff like that. She's very practical, very down to earth. When I get overly philosophical, she doesn't want me to talk anymore.
I'm sure I'm the same way.
It's true. All of you are echoes. There are many of each of you. I mean, we know there's many Naharas, but there's many Uriahs, many Valentines. All of you are echoes from the first world. I am too. You see me here.
What is the first world?
Well, I mean, it was the first world. It was the place where everything began. And everything that has happened since are merely echoes and reflections. I'm here with you. I'm somewhere being crude and hostile, which is unfortunate when the tricky me. There are magnanimous, joyous, kind versions of me and terrible tyrants that crush and oppress. So it is with all of you. So it is with all things.
Wait, are you saying that there's variants of us existing throughout the multiverse?
Yes, although they pose no threat whatsoever and should be allowed to exist peacefully. Imagine if, Nahara, do you have your loot?
My liar, yes.
Yes, I didn't want to call you a liar. That's a little dragon humor.
Yes, I can tell you are a parent because that was a dad joke.
Yes, you do in fact have children. We know now that for a fact.
Give it a strum, if you would. You all notice that the music isn't in the strings. The music's in the vibration. You all are the notes. The first world is the lyre, although it is the truth.
Oh. This is too much for me. I need to lie down. And Tatiana lies down on the ground, prostrate.
I must admit, this is utterly fascinating. I could have discussed the ramifications of this for hours at great length.
If your power is diminished, as you said here, why is ours still the same?
Because you are there. I'm here.
Right.
So we are really here, but you are not really here.
We are the echoes, but we are the one true echo?
You're your echo. There's only one true echo. That's on the first world.
Are there versions of us in the first world?
Presumably, or you wouldn't be here. Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
Is she equally as strong and powerful that Tatiana?
You hate it when I answer that question.
Oh, are you going to say stronger and more powerful?
She's stronger and more powerful, yes.
I hate this question. I take it back.
Right. It is a plate of nightmares. I apologize. Valentine. Tregrum pops up again and says, "This is troubling by implication."
Oh, yeah. Are you doing something about it?
No, it's just if the God Brain is the supreme being, and he is, all hail the mighty God Brain, how could there be other God Brains or some other God Brain that is better than ours? Is our God Brain the prime God Brain? Is that the source of our superiority?
Are you telling me that with all of this going on, it's causing you a question of faith?
No, I have nothing but faith in the almighty God Brain. All hail the God Brain. But
And what if there was a more powerful one?
Valentine, surely you're speaking in pure theoreticals, because that is bordering on heresy.
Certainly.
Well,
Of course.
if there were theoretically some superior God Brain, which of course is impossible, we would need to serve it then in the subjugation of this first world, and by extension bring order to all worlds.
Well, then why don't you spend a little time investigating that?
That is an excellent idea. And he stops talking.
Rejoin the group.
There's probably a fairly intense metaphysical discussion going on between Uriah and the dragon. But the implications of that are that every alternate reality would then branch further infinitely.
Every time she hits the strings on the lyre, more notes come out. It doesn't run out of notes.
Of course. This is utterly fascinating.
All this fascinating discussion is going on. Fen has wandered away and is just like about to start practicing her punches on a tree.
Finn, as you walk about just a few feet away from the group, you find yourself alone.
Like I've just gone off on another plane, or?
You look around and you know these caves. This is the Underdark.
Impossible.
When Finn was just a little girl, she had a pet that she loved more than anything. What was it?
A direwolf puppy.
What's your direwolf puppy's name?
Fenris.
This is one of those you can't wield fire without being burned, because now you put me in the terrible position of having to imperil Fenris, the world's most adorable direwolf puppy. Now I too am trapped in the plane of nightmares.
Congratulations to me.
Finn. Content warning, I'm about to imperil a direwolf puppy.
And I'm going to imperil you when I see you in real life.
Finn. You hear coming from nearby.
Well, this is probably going to get me killed, but I'm going to go investigate.
You also hear
all right. Am I still in my dread form?
When you look at your hands, they're little girl hands. Give me a wisdom save.
Oh boy. 15.
The rest of you see Finn walk about 10 feet and stop and starts screaming.
I'll run,
Ben?
up
Run
and grab
to
her by the
her.
shoulder.
Finn, are you all right?
Finn, get it together. What do you see?
Finn,
Hmm.
off in the distance, like somewhere far down the hallway, you hear people calling your name. Strangers. But the cries and whimpers of Fenris just get louder and louder until you come around the corner and there is a gigantic hulking creature standing there. It's about 8 feet tall and covered in thick plates with long claws and pinchers. You know an Umber Hulk when you see one because it was described to you multiple times as a child to never ever look it in the eye, and yet you find yourself do just that and are frozen in place as its eyes twist kaleidoscopically as it reaches down and picks up Fenris in one of its clawed hands. And its mandibles just click.
Can I do anything at all, or am I still frozen?
You are frozen.
All right.
Finn, tell me.
Yes.
Which of your companions is most likely to be able to reach you?
Probably Desmond.
Desmond, also give me a wisdom save.
Yay. Well,
As you put your hands on Finn's shoulders and are shaking her, reality for you, Desmond, begins to warp a little bit. And the shoulders you feel are much smaller down, like a child's. And you see this thing picking up this dog, its claws beginning to dig into it as its legs fumble in the air helplessly. But you can see it. She doesn't seem to be acknowledging you, even though you feel your hands on her shoulders.
can I? Like, part of me wants to take out my bow and shoot the whatever it is, the gigantic thing.
You have never seen such a creature. Like I said, it looks like a cross between a man and a giant armored ant. But its eyes, that's the strangest thing. Its eyes are multicolored and scintillating, while the rest of it is just dull and muted and hard.
Don't like. Is there anywhere that I could shoot it and it makes a difference?
You could try. You've never seen such a thing. Its armor seems weaker at the seams. You know, there are biological points under the plates. But this young Finn is just standing there screaming Fenris's name with tears coming down her face.
I'm firing at its throat.
Go ahead and roll.
Yay. That would be a longbow. 22.
When you draw the bow back, it immediately snaps the string, and the arrow clatters to the ground. Finn, give me another wisdom save.
Oh boy. 19.
Desmond's here. You know Desmond. That's weird. There was no Desmond when you were a kid, and when you look at him and then you look back, it's gone. The Umber Hulk's gone. Fenris is gone. Your friends are standing all around. Finn!
What? Why are you shaking me?
And you cried out. You were in distress. It seemed like something terrible was happening.
It was. I hate it here.
Yes,
Maybe we should not go off on our own. I mean, I hate to say that. You do what you want to do, but it seems the nightmares can get us that way.
I only want a few feet.
Yes.
Why are you scared to go it alone? And up ahead of all of you, in the darkness, a form coalesces that is vaguely human-shaped, but just standing there. It is like it has gotten darker in front of you. I find your terror delicious. Such brave heroes, so easily brought low by the memory of a lost puppy, a dead brother, disappointment.
I reach for my kukris and run at the thing.
He just opens his arms up to you. Come on, Tatiana.
Tatiana?
Lesson.
Tatiana, it's not real.
Oh, yes, I am. And it's right next to you, Valentine. What do you mean? I'm not real. You know better than most. Nightmares can be the realest thing. Valentine of the once House Asteria.
Yeah, that's why I don't sleep anymore.
You say that like that gives you some sort of reprieve. And Valentine, give me a wisdom save.
That is an 18.
It starts again, Valentine. The night. The party. You know what's going to happen. But this time, when you look out into the room, your friends are there. You see them. There's something anchoring you out of this. The rest of you see this thing lean towards Valentine, and her eyes go wide, but they're still blinking. Like you are both in this and out of this, Valentine.
I've already seen this one.
I love a project. You know what you haven't seen. Tatiana disappears.
I am still telepathically linked to Tatiana as I was just yelling to her, so I try and reach her to see if she's just invisible.
Silence. Oh, such a tough girl. Again. I wonder what she's so afraid of. That's the problem with all of you. Your points of vulnerability are each other. Come on, fight me. Do something. Brother Uriah, turn on me. Call upon Ezra, Lady of the Mist, as if she has any providence here.
Don't let him rile you up. It's party tricks.
If you are who you say you are, sir, then we're old acquaintances, you and I. I suspect you've fed on me quite a bit over the years.
Uriah. Kubu's hand is around your throat. His half-orc face in yours. Oh, you little runt. You thought you was gonna tell everybody on me, and it was gonna work out well for you, huh?
You'll have to do better than that. Kubu was a boy. He lashed out because he himself was hurt by his father, his drunken human father. And it was Ezra who taught me the better way. I cast protection from evil on myself.
Give me a wisdom save, Brother Uriah. You all see Brother Uriah hoisted into the air, and he looks very small. And this half-orc has him, staring him in the face.
Save of 13.
You can't seem to remember the incantation, brother Uriah. You're there again. You're in Rivalis. Kubu has you. He has you again. And you know it.
I will try to follow the earlier advice and just go limp again in his grasp and see if that works.
Tatiana.
Am I still here?
You're outside the Asteria house. You just won your wrestling match out back. Effortlessly. He was a fool.
Well, that's what you get for challenging me. You see my muscles? They have muscles, and they ripple like a sea.
The party should still be going on, but it's quiet. You don't hear anything. In fact, one of the doors is just hanging open.
Do you hear that? There's nothing. I pull out the dagger I used to carry and go in slowly.
You push open the door, and it only goes a few feet before it hits something on the floor. And you look down, and the floor is slick with blood.
Do I see the body or whatever was holding the door?
It takes a minute for your eyes to adjust. But you look inside, and there's bodies everywhere.
Oh.
Lord and Lady Astaria's throats have been cut.
No.
Almost down to the bone. Guests and well-wishers are strewn about. And as your mind frantically turns and searches for Valentine, you see her. And Lord Soth is standing there with Valentine in his hand. You loved this one. And yet you failed her so thoroughly. I believed you to be some sort of great warrior. But you've done nothing but accumulate failure. And you hear the iron in his gauntlet creak as he begins to squeeze. And you see Valentine's body start to flinch. She's not dead.
No, it's not true. You spit the words out of your mouth. I can't be in every place at once. And I run to try and cut his hand off.
Go ahead and roll to attack him. Yes, I know. You can't be everywhere. The problem is you're never where you're needed.
It's a 15.
You plunge the dagger, and it just chinks harmlessly off of him. And he backhands you in the face, sending you falling to the ground in the puddle of blood.
Valentine!
You know, I have no interest in killing the unarmed. This child was innocent, and yet, were I to let her live, she would only grow to hate you for your weakness. And you hear a loud crack. Meanwhile, back out here, Brother Uriah, you all see Uriah lifted off the ground by this orc. And this shadowy mass is just standing there like, look at him. He's just a scared little boy. In
Let him
the
go.
end, that's all of you are. Oh, Let him go. You care so much, and you're too scared to tell him. And it's right behind you, Nahara. Tell
Can
him.
I?
I'll let him go. I'll let him live. Tell him. See if he hears you.
I would like to cast Intellect Fortress on myself.
You do?
Tell
hope
him
it
what?
helps?
What am I supposed to tell him?
Tell him the truth. How you feel. What you see in him. Tell him what he lacks. Tell him something. I don't know how much time he has left. Hopefully he's doing better than Tatiana. And you hear, all of you hear Tatiana screaming, "No!" from somewhere.
Uriah? Uriah, can you hear me?
Can I?
Your world is Kubu. There's maybe it's like the ambient voices of the town. You're used to Uriah, you know they hear you. You know they know what Kubu does. They just don't care. Somebody's calling your name, but what difference does it make? They always turned a blind eye to your suffering. But Nahara, he roughly looks your direction as he's sort of frantically looking around.
And turning back to this creature, what is it that you want?
Last chance before I break his neck.
I don't think you would.
Ha! You hear crack! Brother Uriah's neck snaps and he falls to the ground. And that is a good place for us to take a little break. Be right back. Nahara, as you watch Uriah's body plummet to the ground in a heap, this shadow looks at you and says, "You were saying."
I don't believe you. And I'll run over to Uriah's body.
Brother Uriah, give me a death save.
So reduce my hit points to 0, first of all, I assume. And oop, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to go physical.
No problem.
That is a 2. That is a failure.
That is, but it wasn't a 1. That is 1 failure. Nahara, as you reach him, his body is convulsing and his head is laying at a very odd and unnatural angle.
He's still breathing? Like,
He's
what
dying.
He's dying. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
When you raise your hand, the magic doesn't come. Oh, whoops. I guess Lich Daddy's not paying your bills anymore.
He will always still be my Lich Daddy. And I give the equivalent of whatever is the physical gesture of a middle finger in these lands. It doesn't work on him, though.
Desmond, as you see Nahara has rushed to Uriah's side, in this shadow is standing there watching all of this. Without moving, it just morphs and you're aware it's facing you. And he says, the strong fighting man. I already know you'll be all belligerent, blah, 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 blah. But I do want to give you a choice. The kind of choice I never got. I will let 5 of you go. 1 of you must remain. I'll let you decide.
You feel good about yourself yet?
Oh, here comes the tough guy act. Okay, come on, give it to me.
No,
Everybody starts
there's no
that
tough
way.
guy act. Take
Yeah.
me. Problem solved. Everybody else can go.
Can we
Am
all
I
hear
here
this?
for this?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You all are right there. Hearing
Is
all this.
Tatiana back?
Sorry, Tatiana. You are not back. I apologize. Tatiana is not present. When she disappeared, she has not returned.
Bring Tatiana back and I'll stay.
Now it's a negotiation.
Well, Uriah's dying, so
Yeah.
You seem to know my story. Of course it's a negotiation.
He's no longer of any use to me. What fun's a broken toy?
Fix him.
but
Ordeal's off with all of us.
you didn't say we all had to be alive, now did you?
You know, that's the thing. You all seem to think you've got some leverage here or something like that.
No.
Brother Uriah, give me another death save.
Oh boy. All right. That is an 8.
Nahara, he's slipping away. You feel it. His pulse is slowing. His breath is getting thready.
What is it that you want?
For you to suffer.
This
I
isn't
would have
real.
thought
This
that
can't
was
be real.
obvious. This is as real as it gets, Nahara. And all of you are standing in a hallway of a castle. High, sweeping rooftops. Tatiana, you're aware of this somehow, and yet you can't see the others. Rich, lavish carpets stretch along the way, and they lead over to a window. And you hear and a door slam and bolt. And you all see Nahara back into the hallway that you all are standing in. She's wearing a gorgeous red gown that has been torn like claws have attacked it, and there's scratches on her, and she's bleeding from superficial scratches, and she's panting, heaving heavily, that you know she doesn't the way you know her. And you hear doom, doom, doom on the door. And she looks at the door, and she looks at the window, and she looks back at the door, and you hear, and you see shards of the door come flying inward. And she turns and she runs to the end of the hallway. And you see a figure come around the corner, but it's like you can't perceive him. It's like Nahara can't perceive him, but something with red eyes is after her. And she turns and looks back at him and says, "You will never have me," and jumps out the window. Yes, you say you don't dream, but every single night you fall and fall and fall, and that's good enough for me.
Even you don't know who he is.
It's not worth it to show you. It hurts worse when you can't remember.
You don't know.
So, last chance. And he appears right over Uriah. He doesn't have long now. Who's staying?
I'll stay.
No.
I told you. Fix him. Take me.
All
Everybody
of
else can
you.
go.
No. I'll stay.
No one should make any deal until Tatiana is back.
Well, she's the 5th one.
So,
Bring her
Well, I have
back,
an
fix Uriah. That's
so
5.
predictably heroic. And everything goes dark for all of you.
I'm not heroic. I'm just not going to make a bad deal. Get back here.
Valentine, your words echo. Like you're in a hollow space. Feels damp and cold. And as far as you can tell, you're alone.
I try again to speak telepathically to Tatiana.
She's not there.
Where are the dragons? Since you're so big and scary.
You don't see him. Everything has gone dark for all of you.
Just trying to taunt him out.
Are we all alone, or are...
You are, but...
Am I conscious?
You are. But, in Tatiana, you are as well, but wherever you are alone. Brother Uriah, you felt it. You felt it. You felt your neck break. You felt the life leaving you. And yet you've been knitted. Valentine, you hear music. Like a music box. It's a music box you recognize. Your grandfather gave it to you. You barely remember the man. You were so young and so much time has passed, but that tune, you absolutely know.
Can I see anything?
When you start to look around, you realize that you are alone in this space, but some distance away, you're already starting to catch on to the fact that linear space doesn't seem to be a thing. There is a woman dancing. She's doing what you used to see your mother do when she would entertain visiting elvish dignitaries. She promised that she would teach it to you when you were a little older. She had so hoped that you would do the dance at your wedding someday, no matter how much you protested. Mom was mom. And this person's doing that dance.
I approach. Do I recognize them at all?
He's an insufferable one, isn't he? And she turns and looks at you, and it's your mom. She looks pale. Her cheeks look sunken and gaunt. Her eyes look dark. But it's her. And she keeps dancing.
I know better than to believe you are here.
Oh, no. I'm not Lady Asteria. She's somewhere beyond my reach now. The dead don't dream.
Explains nothing.
Who
are you and how dare you wear her skin?
I would think you should know better than most that you and Nahara and the blah, blah, blah. Me, I'm known by many names. You could just call me Ghost Dancer. It's as good as any. You could also call me Mom if you like.
Why are you here, and why do you look like her?
I'm here because I rule this place. We rule this place, and I look like her because it hurts you. I delight in a different flavor of torment than the Nightmare King does. Well, he likes to be called the Nightmare King. He's really just a nightmare man. I'm more slow burn psychological horror. Honestly, you and I have a very similar aesthetic. Ergo.
Why us? You get to be torturing anyone. Why us?
Oh, we're torturing lots of people all the time, but for some reason, there's something you six have that I find fascinating, and I am willing to deal with you.
So what's next?
She holds her hand out to you and she says, one dance. One dance. You can ask me anything. But for every question you ask me, I'm going to ask one in return.
Is it because you think it'll hurt me? You think I don't see my mother's face constantly? Every day? You think that you can pull up something I haven't felt yet?
No, my darling child. I'm counting on you feeling it. Because when you feel it, I feel it. I know the burden you bury. Ha! Pardon my slip. Carry. Sorry. I know the torment that is your existence, and it's wonderful. Which is why I have to do very little for you to provide a full buffet for me. Between your agony over your lost parents, your lost Nika, now your lost Tatiana, perhaps brother Uriah. I don't know what the Nightmare Man did with him. I don't need to do anything else, so yes or no. One dance. Answer my questions and I answer yours, and then you'll be free to go.
I'll take their hand.
Give me a performance check.
That is a 22.
Valentine, although she never formally taught you, you have always been perceptive. And you immediately fall into the steps. Finn.
Yes.
You open your eyes to darkness, and you hear
I pull my sword and just turn my head to where I hear the noise.
When you go to reach for it, it's not there. When you go and you check, you have been stripped down to your small clothes.
Beg pardon.
Mm-hmm. All of your possessions are gone.
Oh, what are you laughing at? Get it out of your system.
I didn't mean to wake you. I just knew that you were going to be so mad when this happened. You know, because that sword was so important to you because he soul gave it to you. And then, like, you're kind of useless without it. Like, there's not a lot you can do without it.
Oh, you think I'm useless?
Oh, I know you're useless. You know you're useless, too.
No. I'm dangerous without that sword.
Oh, dangerous without that sword. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what are you going to do? Where are your friends? Look at this. You're hopelessly trapped. You're stuck. You're screwed. Come on.
There's nothing that you could tell me. I know that this is the nightmare realm.
Yeah, but that didn't make it any less true.
No, it's not true. You bore me.
You see a person comes out wearing a jester's costume that looks mottled and dirty. There are old rusted bells on the feet that barely ring at all. And he's got a large pouch kind of hanging from his waist. And he's got a floppy jester type hat, and his face is painted like an ashen white with a just very bad clown makeup, worse than anything you've ever seen at the carnival, and that is all pretty bad. And he says, yeah, but you like clowns, you like dark humor.
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh, the dark humor, is that because I'm a drow? Is that what this is?
No, okay, first of all, I am a ruler of the nightmare lands, but I wouldn't say something like that. You can't just say because you're a drow, you're into this. Although I know what drow are into. I see all their nightmares. But that's neither here nor there. Hey, would you like to see some drow nightmares?
No, I have my own. Thanks.
They are exquisite. I told you, I already know what you're afraid of. And you hear Isolde's voice, Finn, come back to me, Finn. He's like, yeah. See? Obvious.
Yeah, but you already got me with that once.
Yeah. What you're going to find out, what I bet your friends are finding out, is we all roll slightly differently here. There's lots of kinds of bad dreams. You know, there's the falling kind. There's the dying kind. There's the why did my mom ever love me kind. I'm more I showed up to class not wearing any clothes kind. I'm more the existential dread, oh my God, I wish I was dead, I'm so embarrassed kind. That's my thing.
I'm already half dead, so...
Yeah, I know. You would think you would be the hardest of everybody to get a rise out of, but I like a challenge. Don't you even want to know my name?
No.
Names have so much power.
I know, that's why I don't want it.
Smart. I don't think you understand that like you think you do, but whatever. So, apparently, we kind of have an eternity of torment here, so what do you want to get started with first? Or should we dive into a soul doesn't really love you, your friends don't really respect you, you don't actually belong in the Feywild, maybe you're not as strong as you think you are, maybe Desmond kind of thinks you're a little bit of a joke?
I was just looking at her nails like, this is nothing I haven't told myself.
I know. It's funny because it's true. So, okay, what do you want to know? Come on, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? I tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. He asked me 3 questions. I'll only lie about one of them.
I don't like those odds.
I could lie about 2 of them.
You could not lie at all.
That would not be in keeping with my aesthetic.
Well, your aesthetic seems to be a little filthy.
Yeah, but it works. Keeps working. Let me tell you something. And he holds his hand out, and it is long and elongated with too many knuckles and long yellow fingernails. when this comes out from somebody's bed and grabs their ankle, you can see a dwarf jump 7 feet in the air. Believe me, it works.
Maybe when you're 5.
That's the thing. In this place, you're all always 5. Tatiana.
Yes.
You also awaken down here. And you hear a humming, a constant, ongoing that seems to be coming from everywhere and nowhere.
Hello? Friends?
I'd like to be friends, yes.
You're not who I was asking for, thank you.
Oh, but you don't even know me. How do you know I'm not the one you're looking for?
Because you live in a nightmare land?
I rule these lands along with my brothers and sisters in both and neither.
Look, everything has already been taken from me, so stab me 1,000,000 times or quarter me with horses.
Oh, there'll be no warrior's death here, Tatiana. Nothing glorious, nothing beautiful, nothing strong. And you see a man wearing like a rough spun hemp robe with a bandage tied around his eyes that looks bloody, and there's blood coming from underneath it. Sort of walks out of the shadows. You know, I envy your single-mindedness, the simplicity of your existence, strength and pleasure and lust, glory and death. Ah, ha, ha.
I choose to not indulge in the questions that bore me.
Well, you know what I find interesting? Disappointment. And you reek with it.
I'm proud of my smell.
Tell me, exactly how old do you think you were when Jibaku realized she'd wasted her time and talent on you?
Nice try. Jibaku knows I am the greatest warrior she ever trained. She told me many times.
Oh, I'm sure. You've never, well, I would say said something you didn't mean, but you are deceptively honest. But I'm sure you've seen Valentine say whatever the situation required on more than one occasion, irrespective of how she actually felt. Perhaps Jibaku simply took pity on you. Because were she to tell you the truth, then you would try and challenge her. You are fairly one-dimensional. Then she'd have to kill you. And then there was no hope ever of you being worthwhile.
She wouldn't kill me. I would kill her first because I am the warrior that she trained me to be. She was both mother and father to me since I was a young girl. And you cannot take that away from me.
That's bold of you to assume. Because unfortunately already the seed of doubt is taking hold. Whatever happens next, wherever you go, even if you manage to escape this place, now you can never quite know for sure. Even if you found Jibaku and asked her, how would you know she's not just still lying to comfort you? All your strength, and now a burgeoning magic, becoming different things. Of course you choose to become different things, because you can't stand being what you are.
There's nothing I love more than what I am.
We both know that's not true. You love Valentine, you love Nika, and you failed them both.
How have I failed? I know you show me our death. I know it can't be real. It's not real. That's not how it happened.
Oh, okay. Call out to her. You know, she's always with you mentally. Do it, fine, whatever. Use whatever powers you wish. Locate her. In fact, he snaps his fingers and the door swings open. Follow her scent. Go. Like a lost puppy.
I wild shape into a puppy.
Nahara. You awaken in a room with a fire burning and a cauldron on it that looks just like the one you were in earlier this very night with Granny.
I walk closer to the cauldron.
It is bubbling, smoking, the same white smoke roiling off of it that was before.
Am I alone in the room? I'll look around.
There is no sign of Granny or anyone else.
I'll look in the cauldron to see if I see anything.
You look for a moment and the smoke dissipates and you see Brother Uriah's lifeless, broken body laying on a stone floor.
I know it's not real.
Oh, how do you know that?
You're just trying to get a rise out of me.
Out of the shadows, you see a woman come forward, walking with a heavy limp, leaning on a stick. She looks very similar to Granny. She's another kind of hag. Her skin is dark blue to almost jet black, and her hair hangs down in long, stringy, tattered knots. And she's got a pronounced hunch in her back as she comes forward. What even is real anymore? That insufferable dragon was prattling on and on about echoes and that cleric. I'm glad the Nightmare King broke his neck just to shut him up. Sure, this is a dream, but if you die here and you're just as dead or trapped for all eternity in torment, who cares? Real enough. And she puts the stick in the cauldron and starts stirring it.
Then why do you care to show me that?
Because it hurts you.
Does it? If I don't believe it's real, does it really hurt me?
You felt his life escaping. Whether or not you trust the testimony of your own senses, debatable, sure. Unfortunately, you will get no reprieve from me.
Well, everybody seems to be asking for favors around here, so what is it that you want?
Nothing. What could you possibly have that I need?
It's not what I asked.
You were around one of the Hourglass Coven, weren't you?
If you were powerful enough, you would know that for certain.
I can do many things, but I cannot do everything. And she motions, and you see the cauldron, the smoke parts for a moment, and you see you with Granny at the cauldron. And Granny turns and looks right at you for a second, and then looks at the you that's standing there and looks back there and kind of squints her eyes for a second, and the image fades in the cauldron. What the old woman offer you, by the way?
Is that something that I need to discuss? If I were to give you this information, what would you give me in return?
You're learning how things are done here. Tell me what I wish to know, and I will allow you to leave.
And you wish to know what they offered me? Is that correct?
Let me word my query carefully. What was the nature of the arrangement? What was asked, and what was offered?
Oh, they're offering me what everybody offers me. Power. So what is your counteroffer?
Oh, I'm not offering you power. I'm not offering you any such thing. Perhaps I am offering you a slightly longer length of chain to make your way across your captivity.
Why is it that you need to know what was offered then?
I don't. Call it a curiosity. Normally, everyone that comes here is so transparent.
Well, I believe that's because everything that everybody's offered me is all right, but I don't see the big benefit as of yet.
And what would you like? What would make Nahara happy? The unbeating heart in your chest leap to life.
The same thing that I tell everyone and that no one can give me. I want to know everything about all of my lives. And that is something that not even that ghost dancer could tell me. Because I've seen myself jump out of that window. I see it every night. But no one can seem to tell me who that person is. And so I'm starting to doubt the power that anybody wields around here.
Well, I will speak truthfully to you as a professional courtesy. The others won't tell you because they fear your tormentor. I don't. I'm not telling you because I derive great pleasure from your frustration. I like that you're angry. I like that you're frustrated. I like that you're lost and hopeless. Why would I empower anything to the contrary? And she goes back to stirring.
Well then, I told you what you've asked for. Why am I still here?
I thought you enjoyed my erudition. And she waves her hand and a door swings open. Good luck.
And who would I say I had the pleasure of speaking to?
I believe you've been taught about the power of names. So I will give you one, but it is not my true one. You may call me Mulanga.
Well, Mulanga, that has been absolutely useless to me. Good day.
Now you know how your friends feel. And she goes back to stirring. Desmond. You wake up in a room, and that shadowy mass is standing apart from you, just standing there with its arms crossed. Wakey, wakey.
Oh, you again.
Always. Tell me. You seem to have had a challenging time as of late, Desmond Drones. I wonder, would you indulge me in a question? And I will indulge you.
All right, whatever. Go for it.
If you somehow escape this place, if we allow you to go, if you succeed in this idiotic quest to restore Nika to something, and it works, if you save your brother Armand from whatever twisted torment he currently finds himself in, and they decide to be together, what will you do?
Something else. I feel like it's a fairly easy answer. You're the nightmare man, right? You already know what brings me pain. So you know that the idea of that brings me pain. But what you don't seem to understand is that I'm not here to hurt the family. I'm not about to go behind my brother's back. It's not that serious. And also, Nika wouldn't have it. So, something else. Find someone else. Do something else. Easy game. My turn.
I will just say, bold of you to assume that their fears are hidden from me. But yes, we had an accord 1-to-1.
Bold of you to assume that I cared. Where are the 3 baby dragons?
Close.
That's not an answer.
I'm afraid it is.
Interesting.
My turn.
You said indulge you a question. I've indulged you a question. Unless we're playing this again. You're gonna go for a second round. Let's go for it.
A gambling man. Should I have some dice and a cup brought in so that we could wager as gentlemen?
No, just ask.
If it's true, if it was you that killed Nika, and you find out, what will you do?
It's been a question that's been weighing on my mind for a good long while. I'll go into the forest and live there forever, alone. And deal with my torment on my own. And I get the feeling that you'll be visiting me regularly if that happens.
I relish the thought.
I know, right?
Last question.
Oh,
then
wait.
No, for you.
Okay.
Then we get back to doing things the way I like to do them.
Why are you so afraid of the world that you attack people in their sleep when they can do nothing to fight back?
An interesting query. I am, of course, cruel, but I am honest. I torment the dreaming because I exist to torment the dreaming. I have no existence independent of this purpose. I have no interest in visiting the waking world. I have no appetite for it. Here, my every want is indulged, infinitely, constantly.
You may think that. You may tell yourself that when you try to bundle up and go to nightmare sleep at night. I don't think you sleep, but whatever you think you enjoy, whatever you think you're empowered by, I get the odd feeling you haven't tried anything else, so you don't know. So who's to say you don't try? Walk the world of the living. Experience life. Maybe once. Maybe you might find something you enjoy more than tormenting those who have no ability to fight back.
I tell you.
Because right now, yeah, you tell me whatever.
No.
You wouldn't see me in the world. My sword, my gifts. One-on-one. I don't know. I think you're afraid of that. So you stay here, hidden, cowering in your little dreamy bunkers. Because that's the only place that you feel comfortable and you're afraid to go and do anything else. But it's cool. Say whatever you like. I don't believe your answer at this point.
I can't wait until you encounter a real Lugaroo. True power, true strength, true terror. So,
who's to say I haven't?
I'm going to take your advice, Desmond Runes. I will visit the land of the living. I will go try something new. Take in a show. After I indulge myself one last time. So, one of your friends is going to suffer, and I will allow you to choose which one. And if you refuse, I shall simply subjugate all of them.
Me. Because I'm the best friend I ever got. So, go for it.
No.
Give me your best shot.
You knowing they're all suffering because you couldn't make a choice is the sweetest taste of all. And he disappears.
You know what's awesome about it?
I know.
I know you're running because you're afraid of the truth. They're suffering because you want them to.
Brother Uriah, you snap back to consciousness.
Hello?
Uriah.
Yes?
It's me. I'm endeavoring to assist you here.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, Mangata,
yes.
you recall. Yes,
I do.
Right? We have met. Yes,
we have. I recall as a dragon. My first. You were my first dragon.
Yes.
Listen. So the thing is, I think I was just killed just now, but I seem to be fine. I seem to be fine.
Very much dying. It was quite an exertion of effort to bring you back.
Oh, thank you. I do
didn't
appreciate
actually
that.
think I could.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you were able to pull that off. Where is everyone else?
They're all here in the city with you. They're all in Nod.
Is that where we are? Nod? I see.
Yes.
All right. What's our next step?
He is on the way to harm you again. The Nightmare Man. He's going to start with you. He thinks hurting you hurts Desmond, which seems like a fair calculation.
I'm touched by that. That's very nice. It speaks to our friendship.
It really does. That here in the land of nightmare, that's still
right. do our spells actually work here? Or is he in complete charge of reality itself?
Your fear is what is in charge, Uriah. If you're afraid that you will fail, you will.
Then what if... Can I cast calm emotions on myself?
You absolutely can.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm. You start to hear screaming, Uriah, and it's your friends' voices. It's all of them echoing in the hallways.
Well, Mangata, where are they? Can you know where they are? Can you still hear me?
You must know this is so terrible. I mean, I know you're so terrible that you're there, but I am a creature of light and mirth and joy. This place is not that. And they're my friends too, Uriah. I know you don't know that. Do you know that? That I care about...
If we are friends, then let's ensure that friendship comes to pass, shall we?
Yes. Okay. You should try and leave this room.
All right. Is there a door?
Do you believe there's a door, Uriah?
Right. All right. I'll try to picture a door. A nice, normal door without any scary accoutrement. Just a normal door.
Give me a wisdom save with advantage.
With advantage, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad this got advantage. No. Both times.
What'd you get?
9 and a 10.
You got to believe harder, Uriah. Okay. There may be another way, but it will be quite unpleasant.
Unpleasant? More unpleasant than it's been so far. You know, my neck was broken not long ago by a long-time childhood bully.
There is another way out. The nature of this place is torment, nightmare. What do you fear seeing most?
Would it be my progenitor? Would it be Azalin Rex? Or would it be someone else coming to harm?
Only you know what you're afraid of. Perhaps it would be him harming someone you care about.
Yes, for he does have something over her. He is the source of her power.
Valentine. As you dance and spin and parry, effortlessly beautiful, this ghost dancer who has stolen your mother's visage sort of looks and says, "Oh, now that is an interesting stratagem. Your brother Uriah is nothing if not brave."
Pardon?
Nothing. I believe you were going to ask me something, and I was going to ask you something, and then you were going to depart.
Do I only get one question? You're going to wear my mother, then I should at least get 2.
I love you as my own child. You can have...
Don't speak to me like that.
3.
Is Tatiana safe?
No.
How do I get her and the rest of them out of here?
I reserve the right to answer that one after your 3rd question.
I've asked this to many people. Why us?
She stops dancing and she says, "Curious. That was my question for you. There's something about you six. There is something that you resonate with, a power that most don't. It is like moths to the flame. I feel it, but I do not understand it. And yet, all who are drawn to it wish to use it to their own ends. I will not lie to you. I enjoy your pain, as do the other members of the Nightmare Court. You all are lavish and gourmet. The others wish to use you as pawns, or perhaps kings and queens. Some would put you on a throne to rule. Others would see you brought down and broken. But I do not know why."
Well then, what's the answer to my third question?
You all may leave when we allow you to go.
So what you're saying is all of this has been completely useless.
She reaches out and caresses your hair slightly, exactly like your mother used to. Call me sentimental, uncharacteristically so.
I'll call you sick and boring.
If there's one thing you know how to do, Valentine, is negotiation. Make it worth our while, or perhaps too costly, and you can go. Have I taught you nothing?
Can I summon my arms of Hadar?
Brother Uriah. What is it that you imagine? Where is Azalin Rex? And what is he doing?
I hear him before I see him. Over my shoulder, I hear a voice. Now then, at last I have reached you. When I turn, he's there. Nahara is at his feet, broken and burned.
Nahara, you see all of this. You walk out the door and you are there with Azalin. Your body is racked with agony and he is standing over you, and you see Uriah standing behind you.
Uriah, it's not real. I promise you it's not real.
Do I hear this?
It just sounds like moaning and pain.
No. No, what have you done?
She did not serve the will of Azalin Rex. All traitors to Darkon and the Iron Crown must suffer.
Uriah! Uriah! Get her out of there, Uriah!
I can hear this.
You can. Azalin is standing there, but you hear off in the distance, "Get her out of there, Uriah!"
And I'll reach out my hand towards him.
Can I see her hand, or am I seeing the Nahara on the ground?
The burned, broken Nahara is trying to reach for you, as Azalin is just standing over her, raising his hand, preparing to deliver the final blow to her.
I'll grab her by the hand and cast Guiding Bolt at Azalin.
The moment you grab her and raise your hand to strike him down, the two of you are in a room. Blank and nondescript, but you are together.
Nahara, is it you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I told you it wasn't real.
Yes. No, the dragon told me to picture the worst thing I could think of, what I would fear the most, and then you're not hurt, are you? You were.
No, I'm fine.
Well, how do we reach the others?
I don't know. Do we try and will it like when he asked you to picture that?
Yes, I didn't know it was going to bring me to you, though. Yes, perhaps if we try to picture them in peril?
Maybe.
But I'm not sure if it only worked because that was my greatest fear.
Was it?
I suppose it must have been. What did it show you?
I didn't believe it.
Yes.
It was just an image in a cauldron. It's fine. We can't let this get to us. We can't.
Mangata, are you there? Could you hear us?
Finn.
Yes.
This mummer looks over and says, "Ooh, bad news. Uriah and Nahara didn't make it. Desmond didn't come out too bad, but I'm pretty sure the Nightmare Man's saving him for last. Hopefully he's not heading here. I think he's probably coming here because he knows hurting you will hurt Desmond, but then he gets sort of like, I don't know. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. So yeah, 3 questions, and I will answer 2 of them truthfully. I don't think we have much time.
Why did you pick us?
There's something about you. It's delicious. Surely you must know that you get an disproportionate amount of divine attention on you 6. The fact that you even were brought together the way that you were, it's incredible. I didn't see the wedding, but Desmond, Tatiana, and Valentine, even in her own way, have shown it to us. Quite a night.
Well, I wasn't on the guest list.
Probably for the best. It ended rather poorly. Question number 2.
Is the Nightmare Man really going to let us go if Desmond picks someone?
An interesting question. Perhaps he is a psychopath. He enjoys torment. And the anguish of knowing that one of you stayed here while the rest returned home would probably fuel him for quite some time.
And I guess this is the one where you lie.
Assuming I've been truthful before now. And he starts juggling.
What? Are you afraid of the Nightmare Man?
No.
That smile doesn't reach your eyes.
I shall have to work on that, I suppose. You can always tell a genuine smile because the lines come. But he snaps his finger and a door swings open.
Could you do that again so I'd be dressed at least?
Well, that wasn't part of the deal. And he disappears. And you don't know where your stuff is.
And I guess there's nothing in this room at all.
Mm-mm.
Well, guessing I'll see everything that
No, you're in your underclothes. You're not naked. It's just your gear is gone.
close enough for Finn.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, thing will work out. And she walks to the door.
Tatiana. This bandaged man is standing there and says, Finn, Nahara, Uriah, all lost. Valentine.
What?
Valentine is attempting to do battle with a foe far beyond her comprehension. I would like to see that, no pun intended.
What do you mean when you say lost? Lost to you or lost to me?
Both.
This can't be real.
I assure you it can. Let me ask you a question, Tatiana. At any time, can you ever prove you're awake? Can you prove you're not dreaming?
I don't like these questions.
I know. Ever the blunt object. I like watching the wheels turn. I do.
It's not an insult when you say it to me. I am a very blunt object. Just like the one that would ram through your eyes if you had any.
I am going to go and watch whatever happens to Valentine. It is sure to be interesting. Tell me.
Wait, take me to Valentine.
In exchange for what? What will you offer me?
You don't seem like you want much. What, are you a monk?
My fulfillment comes in other ways, yes. But I am not totally non-materialistic. But again, if you can dream it, I can have it. So you are right. Gold, riches, things like that are of minimal use to me.
Okay, we're not going there, buddy. You want the blue? You can't have the blue. Not even in dream space.
Not to my taste.
That's impossible.
A true nightmare, right? What will you give me? Why are you even here? Have you thought about it? How did you even land in this predicament?
You are taking questions right out of my mouth. What did we do to you in your nightmare creatures?
You went to sleep.
I will give you something if you let me out.
What?
But you must let out my friends too.
Perhaps depends on the value of the offering.
Haha, you already gave me something. And you saying you could do it, it means they are still alive.
An interesting leap of logic. I believe I only told you 3 of them weren't. Valentine's death is imminent and Desmond is being tormented.
You don't know Valentine's power. I will give you my strength. It's all I have. Take it.
Would trade this. You would trade the power that defines you, that you are so proud of. You would trade it away.
It depends if I can trust that you will maintain your part of this bargain. If you give me my friends, if you promise to stay out of our dreams, and never bring us to this place again.
I will help you. And I don't want your strength. Because when you fail, and you will, you'll fail before Soth, or you won't be strong enough to save your friends, or something's going to happen to Valentine that you couldn't prevent, and all of that will come back to me. And snaps his fingers. And all of you are in a room, and you see Valentine raising her hands as tentacles are coming out of the earth around a woman wearing elven finery, who looks down at it and goes, oh, 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 oh. I guess that means our dance is over.
Yes, because my mother would know better than to use such trashy words.
Fair enough. Oh, the rest of you, I suppose, would like some time alone. I will see you soon, sweetheart. And she steps back and she's gone. And the 6 of you were there together.
So what is it about
Pinch myself.
weird places that want to kill us or torment us or help us?
I don't think any of them were out to help us.
Yeah.
Nope, not at all. I just got a creepy, dirty clown. Am I dressed?
Your clothes are back on and your sword is in the sheath. You are muted.
You did.
Are we still in this room, or are we back where we were?
Oh no, you were in a room. You all saw the Grey Dancer. Like, you're still in this place. You're just all together.
Oh, are we in each other's nightmares now? What is this?
Well, we're all still here. We're all still dreaming, I suppose.
How do we wake up?
Yes, that's the question.
Another.
Did anyone learn anything from our various tormentors?
I learned that the baby dragons were close, is what I was told.
Close to here. Then there must be some way to find them.
I agree.
I'm going to... I'll try raising my eyes of the dead. Wait, actually, are they considered fey creatures?
Yes, they absolutely would be fey creatures.
I will cast Detect Evil. That should reveal the presence of any fey creatures within range.
Believe it or not, Brother Uriah, you detect no evil in this place. Whatever it is, it's not evil. That's actually fairly confusing because they've been objectively horrible, and yet it does not resonate as evil.
Interesting. You
do, however, feel 3 distinct pings nearby.
Oh, this way, everyone. I think I've got them.
As you start running, Uriah, again, it feels like they should be just out of arm's reach, but they're running. And you all of you hear, no. Sorry, you can't walk there. It's this place is nightmare, but it is also dream. You have to be there.
Yes, I see what you're saying. So if I were to just face this wall in that direction and imagine a door.
No, wait, I think that we can bring the eggs to us.
Oh, yes.
What do you guys, I think what you're saying is the eggs have been behind us this whole time?
We all slowly turned to look.
When you all turn around, you're in a different room. It looks just like Van Richten's apothecary shop. It looks disheveled and ill-kept, as if, no one has been minding the shop. There are partially consumed bottles of things. There's cobwebs. There's torn and ripped parchment all over the place. And in that back room, there is a cot, and there's someone sleeping.
Wake up!
As you yell, Nahara, the person sort of starts for a second, but they don't wake up. However, around them, at the head and foot in both sides of their bed, are 4 eggs. Although, Uriah, you felt 3 pings. They are luminescent in blue and scintillating. They look a lot like Tatiana.
There
Thank
are
you.
4 eggs. There are 4 eggs. I only detect. Actually, with detect evil present, I should be able to detect which ones are detecting as Fae and which ones aren't.
One of them, the one that is to her right-hand side, appears intact. It looks just like the other 3, but you don't feel anything from it.
I think these are the 3 we want. Can you hear us?
It's very difficult. You're at the center of it all.
There were 3 children, yes?
No, there are 5.
5. I'm afraid I relay the information that it was like, that only 3 of these are detecting. I'm so sorry.
You don't get a reply. And a few seconds later, you hear, the center of it all. And then nothing.
Tell the others, these are the 3 that seem to, perhaps we should try to wake this person? Perhaps we're in their dream?
Perhaps we need to all imagine them already awake.
What happens when you fall asleep in this place? Where else would you go?
I don't know. But they are at the center of these eggs as well. Perhaps, does anyone have a spell that might do it?
That would
I have an
wake
odd
them up?
idea. Our friend, Mangata, knows us all. And
Yes.
is hunting for the 3 babies, but just met us recently. What if that 4th egg is Mangata?
Interesting. I suppose
Mangata has been stated to not believe or not live by the same linear time rules that we do. I say we take all the eggs.
All right. Yes, but also, how do we wake this person?
This person is already awake. They're back at the counter. I'm sure of it.
Really?
That's right. I see them too.
As you turn, the person is still there sleeping.
It worked with the eggs. I had high hopes.
Let me try this. I cast False Vigor on this person. So this should basically give them a burst of energy.
Brother Uriah, you reach down and you put your hands on this person, and you see when you get closer, it's a woman who looks sweaty and pale, like she's having a very feverish nightmare. And when you put your hands and zap her, she sits up for a second and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." And the 3 of you are back in the forest. All the 6 of you are in the forest with 4 dragon eggs sitting on the ground in front of you.
It worked. I think it worked.
Right.
Are we really here? I touch everybody and hug them.
What was that?
Are you still squishy, Tatiana?
Oh,
I hug
no,
back Tatiana.
hard as rock.
Carved out of stone, yep.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, not
Hey, we
squishy
are
at all.
back.
I punch myself.
And you all hear boom, and there in the clearing, glimmering in the moonlight, you see this magnificent moonstone dragon. You can feel the power coming off of Mangata just being in her presence.
Your eggs, I believe, although there might be something odd about that one.
She leans down and she sniffs it and she says, Oh, that's going to be a problem. Hey, thank you, all of you. I know that was really something, and unfortunately, I can't promise that the Nightmare Court's not going to try to get even. But
what?
You all have saved my babies, and that means you saved me, and that means I owe you.
Oh. Well, I certainly look forward to that friendship that you mentioned.
Absolutely. Hey, you guys have told me a lot of stories, and I know some rough stuff has happened to you, and some rough stuff is still to come. You'll get through it. Oh, and Tatiana, you're not a failure. And Desmond, you're not a disappointment. And Valentine, your mother loved you more than she loved herself. And Nahara, you didn't deserve for this to happen to you, for any of this to happen. And Brother Uriah, you were a wonderful little boy and are a brave man now. And Finn, you are great and glorious, and you are absolutely the love of Isolde's life. They all see nightmares and what people are the most afraid of. But dragons like me get to see what people love the most, and I've seen all your faces in many other dreams. And here, return to the Feywild, having made a new, possibly lifelong friend, is a good place for us to stop.